I refused to join any club that would have me as a member. Behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes. A day without laughter is a day wasted. I'm not a member of any organized political party. I'm a Democrat. If I were two-faced, would I be wearing this one? If you want to know what God thinks of money, just look at the people he gave it to. I'm an excellent housekeeper. Every time I get a divorce, I keep the house. Age is something that does not matter unless you are a cheese. Everything is funny, as long as it is happening to somebody else. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. I used to be Snow White, but I drifted. I cook with wine. Sometimes I even add it to the food. I never forget a face, but in your case, I'll be glad to make an exception. If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving definitely isn't for you. I have had a perfectly wonderful evening, but this wasn't it. It's amazing that the amount of news that happens in the world every day always just exactly fits the newspaper. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you are a mile away from them, and you have their shoes. I intend to live forever. So far, so good. A man's only as old as the woman he feels. I dream of a better tomorrow, where chickens can cross the road and not be questioned about their motives. If you can't live without me, why aren't you dead already? I never drink water because of the disgusting things that fish do in it. If you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of car payments. Money is not the most important thing in the world. Love is. Fortunately, I love money. If you find it hard to laugh at yourself, I would be happy to do it for you. All right, everyone, line up alphabetically according to your height. I'm writing a book. I've got the page numbers done. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else. Do not take life too seriously. You will never get out of it alive. I was married by a judge. I should have asked for a jury. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. If you want your children to listen, try talking softly to someone else. When I was a kid, my parents moved a lot, but I always found them. I do not fear computers, I fear the lack of them. Opera is when a guy gets stabbed in the back and, instead of bleeding, he sings. I have a lot of growing up to do. I realized that the other day inside my fort. To cease smoking is the easiest thing I ever did. I ought to know because I've done it 1,000 times. There's a fine line between fishing and just standing on the shore like an idiot. The only mystery in life is why the kamikaze pilots wore helmets. A woman's mind is cleaner than a man's. She changes it more often. I found there was only one way to look thin. Hang out with fat people. I wonder if other dogs think poodles are members of a weird religious cult. The best way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. The 4 most beautiful words in our common language. I told you so. I told my psychiatrist that everyone hates me. He said I was being ridiculous. Everyone hasn't met me yet. Rodney Dangerfield. The problem with the gene pool is that there's no lifeguard. David Gerald. I want my children to have all the things I couldn't afford. Then I want to move in with them. Phyllis Diller. My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. I have a new philosophy. I'm only going to dread one day at a time. A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it. By the time a man realizes that his father was right, he has a son who thinks he's wrong. I always wanted to be somebody, but now I realize I should have been more specific. If you steal from one author, it's plagiarism. If you steal from many, it's research. Why do they call it rush hour when nothing moves? A day without sunshine is like, night. If at first you don't succeed, try again, then quit. No use being a damn fool about it. Housework can't kill you, but why take a chance? Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Behind every successful man is a woman. Behind her is his wife. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 now, and we don't know where the heck she is. I always arrive late at the office, but I make up for it by leaving early. If I could say a few words, I would be a better public speaker. I have never been hurt by what I have not said. The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. There is no such thing as fun for the whole family. I am not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Laziness is nothing more than the habit of resting before you get tired. The only time a woman really succeeds in changing a man is when he is a baby. A clear conscience is usually the sign of a bad memory. The only thing that stops God from sending another flood is that the first one was useless. You can't have everything. Where would you put it? I used to sell furniture for a living. The trouble was, it was my own. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. If you're going to tell people the truth, be funny or they'll kill you. I've had bad luck with both my wives. The first one left me, and the second one didn't. A committee is a group that keeps minutes and loses hours. Happiness is having a large, loving, caring, close-knit family in another city. You can always count on Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else. I didn't fail the test. I just found 100 ways to do it wrong. Marriage is the chief cause of divorce. I can resist everything except temptation. I like long walks, especially when they are taken by people who annoy me. I've been on a diet for 2 weeks, and all I've lost is 2 weeks. It's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. A man doesn't know what happiness is until he's married. By then, it's too late. The surest sign that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is that it has never tried to contact us. I can't understand why a person will take a year to write a novel when he can easily buy one for a few dollars. When I was a boy, I was told that anybody could become president. I'm beginning to believe it. The first time I sang in the church choir, 200 people changed their religion. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans.